Hello everyone, welcome back again in my channel. And today I'd like to share a short presentation about the usage of modal in request word. This topic will help us understand how to make polite and effective requests in English. Before we start, let's first understand what modal verbs are. So, modal verbs are helping verbs used to express things like ability, permission, or politeness. When we make requests, we often use modal to sound polite or less direct. For example, can you help me? Or could you open the window, please? And both are requests, but they sound polite because of the modal verbs. So, why are these modals so important in daily communication? In slide 3, we can see using modals helps us sound polite and respectful. They make our requests softer and more friendly, instead of sounding like commands. And there are a few reasons why modals matter. To show some respect, to keep good communication, and to make our tone gentle. And now, let's take a look at each modal verbs and see how they are used in requests. Can. We'll start with can. Can is used for informal and friendly requests. Usually, we already know well. For example, can you help me with this? Can I borrow your pen? It's simple and direct, perfect for casual situations. But if we want to be more polite, we can use could. Could is like a softer version of can. It sounds more polite and it's great for talking to stranger or informal situation. For instance, could you pass me the salt, please? Or could I talk to your manager? And adding please makes the request sounds even nicer. And next, let's move to another common modal. Will. Will is used for direct but friendly requests. We usually use it when talking with friends or coworker. Example, will you join us for dinner? Or will you help me with my report? It's a bit more neutral, not too formal and not too casual. And now, let's make it sound even more polite with would. Would is often used for polite after or invitations. It sounds warm and respectful, even in a formal context. Like example, would you like some tea? Or would you mind helping me? Okay. Would you mind is one of the most polite ways to make a request. And now, let's look at something more formal. May. May is very polite and formal. We usually use it when talking to someone we respect or in professional settings. Like examples, may I come in? Or may I use your phone, please? It shows high respect and good manners. And if you want to sound even more cautious or gentle, you can use might. Might is a softer version of may. It used when we want to be very polite or when we are unsure. Examples: might I ask you a question? And might you have a moment to talk? It's not very common in everyday, but sounds very formal. And now, let's move on to shall. Shall is used for polite offers or suggestions. It sounds formal or traditional, especially in British English. Like example, shall I open the door to you? Sorry, shall I open the door for you? Or shall we begin the meeting? It's polite and often used in meetings or invitations. And now, let's continue with should. Should is usually for giving advice or soft requests. It's not too strong and sound polite enough for most situations. Examples: should I call her now? Or you should check your email, please. It's gentle and sounds like a suggestion, not an order. And now, let's talk about stronger modal. It must. Must shows necessity or strong obligation. It's not really used for polite requests because it sounds too firm. Like example, you must finish this today. And I must talk to you immediately. And it's better to avoid must if we want to sound polite. To make it even clearer, here's a table comparing their politeness level. Here, we can see the difference in politeness level. Like, for example, can is informal, could and would are polite, and may is very formal. Meanwhile, must sounds strong or commanding. This helps us choose the right modal for each situations. Speaking of politeness, adding please also makes a big difference. Here, adding please can make any request sound softer and friendlier. Like example, could you help me please? Or will you pass the file please? A small word like please can completely change the tone. And now, let's take a look at how to make requests more indirect. Sometimes, indirect requests sound even more polite and natural. We often use phrases like I was wondering if, or do you think you could? Like example, I was wondering if you could help me. And do you think you might lend me your notes? They sound very polite, perfect for formal situations. But we also need to avoid some common mistakes. One big mistake is using comments directly. For example, saying, open the door. It sounds rude. Instead, we should say, could you open the door, please? It softens and shows some respect. And now, let's try a short practice now. Change the following into polite. Okay, let's change this sentence into polite request. Here we can see there's 3 points. And now, let's check the possible answer together. Change the following into polite request. Okay, here are the polite versions. Could you give me your book, please? And will you send me the file? And would you mind helping with these tasks? You see, each of these sounds natural and respectful. And finally, let's conclude our lesson today. To sum up, modal verbs are very useful for making polite requests. They help us communicate respectfully and clearly. Remember these key points. Choose the right modal for situations, at least to sound kinder, and avoid using direct commands. And now, let's end this presentation. Thank you for listening, and I hope this presentation helps you understand how to use modals in requests more naturally. Being polite makes communication smoother and more enjoyable. Let's keep practicing and improving our English together. See you.